Okay, hello everybody. It has been a crazy year here at the shop, and we got a crazy dog. This is not a video in response or to defend what we do here, but let me clear some things up for you guys. Okay, this is not a business, a regular business. This is a hobby shop. You guys don't call me for stuff you need. You call me for stuff you want. So, the one thing I like about social media is you've got two options: to hide behind a text or get in front of a camera and put your stuff out there, right? I prefer the latter. I got a comment today that usually I don't give no snot about the comments usually, but when an unqualified hillbilly, it's as bad as I'm gonna get about that one. He's obviously not very bright. I looked at his page briefly. He knows what I'm talking about. You know, until you can set something in front of me, until you come to challenge the champ, take a shot at the title, get your wallet out. If you think you got something that's more quality than what I build, I'll have any one of my customers bring any amplifier. I'll whip one up for you. I don't see anything original this particular individual has done. But, and I do this every now and then. I'll challenge you guys. Let's do it on YouTube. Bring the best you got in whatever you want to challenge me in. Be my amplifiers, my radios, whatever. We set the parameters. Put a nice big price tag on the loser. And we do it live on YouTube. Now, thus far, most people that watch my videos know I am not a formally trained engineer. I'm not a formally trained technician. I've just been playing with this stuff since I've been playing with this stuff longer than most of you guys have been alive. Let's just put it that way. So, what you see here is, we take chicken shit and turn it into chicken salad every day. What you guys don't realize is there's going to come a time when, and it's coming, believe me. I'm not a doomsday guy. I never have been. But all you gotta do is watch the news. All you guys with these ceramic steel tubes. Don't get me wrong, metal ceramic tubes are wonderful. They're made in Russia. That's gonna be a little bit of a feat if you need to replace some tubes. We are Pentalabs Tube Dealer, which is located in California, on our block. I can get my tubes when I build my amps. And as far as the way, if you don't understand something, if you want to understand what we've done, especially on these bird cages, these are not regular amplifiers. This is nothing you guys have ever seen. The problem is you guys are not used to anybody. Some of you guys aren't used to anybody coming up with something new. And it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I got a gentleman I respect greatly. He's always telling me, "Don't stop trying to reinvent the wheel." I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I might want to make it a little bigger or put some chrome rims on it or make some spinners or something. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. And if you, you don't, people make comments like the one I saw today, and if they actually knew my failure rate, when I have something that fails, I'm one of the few guys on this freaking YouTube that's got the balls to put it back on the air and go, "Hey, look, we did this wrong, but look, this is what you do when you do something wrong." I think this gentleman should stick to driving his truck and watching fireworks, because that's all I saw on his page. Unless he can build something and he wants to take a shot at the title. 409, don't fucking back it down from nobody. See us? Bird cage, baby, and we mean it. Like I said, why you call it amplifier that? How many times have you been talking to somebody about whatever power you got, and they say, "Well, how many bird watts does it do?" And what they're referring to is a slug meter. For you gentlemen just getting into this hobby, there's there's a very expensive commercial standard meter, and it uses slugs. You don't flip no switch to change your scales. Well, I do. I have a pre-scaler on mine, but it was put in at the factory. But slug meter. Now, Bird is the most popular, BYRD. I use a coaxial dynamics, which is also commercially accepted, and also I have a certificate of calibration for everything that's been done to that meter from coaxial dynamics. So if anybody wants to challenge this meter, that's another challenge. You're going to lose your ass on that one, though, because I didn't put this meter together, coaxial dynamics did. So I stand behind that meter. Now let's get to the one of the biggest misunderstandings I run into, and it's not a misunderstanding, it's just the way you guys have been taught from some of the, common terminology. RMS and peak watts and all that. First of all, let me explain to you guys. And I know a gentleman who has the book that explains this from Bird. That meter is not made for AM. It's not made for sideband. It's made for constant wave. Okay? You can use it for what we're doing, and it is relatively accurate. However, see, I even used my tape on my cameras. I can put it back up there. However, you kind of lost myself for a second. You've got to have quality test equipment. Period. That's all there is there. So mine is quality. Mine is that. I will stand behind it. CW is not AM. It is a carrier, but it's not AM. It's not the same. It's not the same kind of a mode. Sideband, we know there is no carrier, and it's all RMS. What is RMS? True power. Okay. If I take two, here's the lesson on that. Here's the lecture on peak and average power or RMS power. More like your real power. Okay. I can take two amplifiers. I can build each one of them and make it a 50 watt RMS amp. Okay. But the one on the left is peaking. Well, that's your right. Watching this. This amplifier will peak 100. This one will peak 150. But they're both only doing 50 watts on the slug meter with the peak switch shut off. However, this is where it becomes useful. Which one do you think is going to be louder? Obviously the one that's peaking higher. All peak reading is, it's a unit of measurement to decipher the intensity and loudness of your audio on whatever carrier and RMS swing you are generating. Okay? You are not doing 2,000 watts out of a pair of 3-500 Z-tubes. You might be peaking it. If the amplifier is working properly, you'll see RMS, real power, average watts, whatever, 1,000 to 1,100. I've got a couple of mine that do 12. That's pretty respectable. The difference between mine and everybody else is, you guys look at my power supply. Now, somebody made a comment, I'm going to respond to this, and this is not a negative response. None of this is negative in any way, shape, or form. However, the one guy asked me, he says, why do you use so much hot glue and tape? You guys got to remember, the units you're seeing are prototypes that are my buddies around here, and whoever has called says, that's okay. When we build something for somebody we don't know, or they call and they say, I want an amp, it's a totally different look. And we're going to do one the way we do it on a retail low. My next amplifier, we're coming out with a new line. One thing that bothers me, always has for the last 30 years about radios, is you get a radio, then you get a driver, then you get another amp, then you get your big JB Stone, whatever it is. Okay? All this shit in line. You guys will hear me refer to broken connections. That doesn't mean something's busted. When I say broken connection, I mean anything that's not soldered. If I can unscrew it or unplug it, that's a broken connection. And it's not electronically solid. However, they're needed. It's a necessary evil. Okay? Why would you take and try to make power, considering that each device you put in line is 4 more broken connections? There's that many odds for something to fail in a chain. We're not gonna do that here. We're gonna come out. Our next radio is gonna be, we're gonna call it the RF Foundry. Okay, and I'm gonna build one of my radios. I haven't decided if I'm gonna put the Ranger Turbo in there yet, or make it fancy with a DAC face and some Z tubes. I still have to finish that radio that got started, by the way. But mine's gonna be in a roller cart. Okay. Maybe 2 bolted together and skinned all the way around. We're going to put Z-tubes in the bottom, one radio in the top. We're going to put transformers and all the diagnostics in the other one. So maybe two roller carts wide. Once again, we're not trying to mass produce anything here. Everything that walks out of this shop, I've got dogs that are losing their mind. See, this is life at 409 radios. Dogs lose their mind. Usually when I've got a high voltage probe in my hand, and there's the grandson. See, welcome to 409 Radios. If you're part of the 409 Radio family, you know all of this is normal. Oh, but everything we build that you guys are seeing is really kind of a prototype. We do use a lot of hot glue. We use a lot of tape. However, what you guys don't see before it leaves, before we put all the brand new screws in, right after we've tied everything down properly, okay, a lot of that stuff does get secured, either with a screw, some type of screw bracket, zip ties. Hey, if zip ties is good enough for freaking Ameritron, it's good enough for me, okay? And we're not trying to build what they build. We build something completely different. You guys gotta understand, this tube, our birdcage amps, our 3500Z amps are not the typical power supply you guys are used to seeing. It's taken a year to develop it. The one I just built is for my helper. Okay, I've got a gentleman. He's a little bit older than me. He's a retired operations engineer. He's a very bright man, and I told him I was looking for somebody young that wanted to give me their time, and I will give them an education that you guys can't buy for $1 million today. Nowhere. Okay? I can't find nobody young enough to do it right now. So, we're still looking. Okay? Somebody's got to be willing to give me their time, and I'm going to give them a lot of knowledge. I don't understand how somebody can look at our equipment and say, oh, it's not quality. You don't have a piece of my equipment. But I will tell you, everybody who does have my stuff when it's done, I got no complaints. You don't see this shop full of repeat repairs on brand new equipment. And if something of mine does fail, which is rare, 9 times out of, no, let's be honest, 6 to 7 times out of 10, if you bring a piece of my equipment back more than once, you've got a problem at your place. Because it runs fine here. Everything here is properly assembled and it runs the way it's supposed to. So when you take it out of this environment and you take it home, the first time we understand, okay, we might have missed something. I'm human. Are you? I am. I make mistakes. But I correct mine and I tell everybody about it when I do it. Check this out, guys. Don't do this. It's a bad idea. You may have saw it in the last video when I thought it was a good idea, but now it's not. We come up with stuff out of our ass on a daily basis. We don't have parts, we'll make them. When you're qualified to do that, you can start making the kind of comments this one jerk off made on my page earlier today. So, it doesn't offend me about his comment because it was totally irrelevant. If you don't know what you're talking about, here, I'm not a politician, so I can't tell you how that shit works, and I don't care. However, if your life is so boring that you sit around and watch my videos and find stuff to critique and then can't even explain to me in technical terms what you think is amiss, get the flip off my page, man. You ain't got the gumption to do it. Or take the challenge. Build something. Build something you think is worthy to come here live on YouTube. We'll put it on. You want to do a radio? We have parameters for radios: audio quality, power, emissions, or roll off harmonics, distortion, all that shit. You get tested on all of it. Bring your equipment. Bring your equipment. We'll do the test on your equipment. You want to bring an amplifier? We set rules for that too. You want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 Z's? What do you want to do? Let's play. Build the best you think you got and bring it down. Let's get live on YouTube. It's a standard challenge. If I whoop your ass, which I usually do, it's $1,000 for me whooping your ass, and then it's another $1,000 for me doing it live on the air and having to inconvenience my day. Anybody want to take a shot at that title? Come on down. Okay. Now it is about once a year I got to put this out because some jerk pisses me off, and I'm not pissed off about the comment at all. Make no mistake. If there was something valid in it, it wouldn't anger. It wouldn't rub me that way. You know what I mean? If it were valid, I might even take some cues from the gentleman. I've got some gentlemen in my pocket that are very, very, very smart. Okay? If anybody remembers Maycom Communications and L.C. Maynard, that was one of my mentors. I talk to guys that you guys hear of and you don't even know. I'm 52 years old. I've been playing around with this shit since I was 9. That's why I'm one of the last guys around here that can take just about any tube, put it in a box, and make it make power. With my hot glue and my tape. Once again, how many of them have come back? I don't see any. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that. So if that jerk that made that big, long, drawn out, he must have got some really good weed that night because it was a really long comment. Put your money where your mouth is, punk. Come on up here from WV, which I think is West Virginia. Come on down here. Drive that semi on up here. You know what? If you've got guys that you like that you think may be better than us, you're looking at it wrong. They may be better at what they do. There is no one on this continent that does with radios what I do. The DAC challenge is very real. You bring me any standalone DAC. Standalone, nothing but the DAC and a mic. That's it. Bring it down. We'll do the challenge live on air. People who know people have told guys, don't do it. He's going to get your radio and your money. And I'm going to do it live on the air. And hey, you know what? If you whoop me, you whoop me live on the air. So, take a shot at the title and shut up. As far as everything else, we are catching up, guys. It's been a long year. We got a lot of stuff out. We got some stuff going to Pennsylvania pretty soon. A couple of birdcage amps and a DAC that we're rebuilding for one gentleman. We've got another DAC going out to, I believe, New York. That guy's going to have a hell of a radio. Once again, you guys don't come here for stuff you need or stuff you want. Or say you got me all confused. You don't come here for stuff you want, you need. You come here for the things that you can afford to have, stuff that you want, and the goodies. Okay. There's very few people I've met that'll say, "Give me your DAC chassis and a list, and I'll build your dream radio. Give me what tubes you like to use." And if I play with them, I'll tell you. If I don't, I'll tell you. If you want to do an experiment, and this has happened. You know, a lot of you guys call me, can you do this, this, and this? Yeah, but you will be the first one I've done it for. And if it works, great. If not, we'll have to come up with a plan B. If they can't agree to that, then we don't do it. Everybody pretty much agrees, though. Because, to be honest, I think what's getting so much attention is you guys are starting to hear my name out there in DX land just a little bit. I ain't never going to get down on 26 and 11 with those guys. Maybe somebody who's got enough power will be smart enough to get one of my nice, clean audio radios and put it on that system and go whoop their ass. But that's not for me. So the Foundry is going to be the biggest radio I built for myself. It's going to have 4 Z's on it, 4 3500 ZGs. All one case, guys. Plug it in the wall, plug the antenna in, plug the mic in, go in the bus they asses. Real simple. If you can't get it done with 4 3500Zs and a good antenna, shut it off. Or find somebody that'll blow smoke up your ass and tell you they're going to do better. Until you advance in power from that point. Now that's where you start advancing in power. You start off with 4 Zs in a box. That don't make you happy? Then maybe you need to hunt down one of them 3CX tubes. And then find a guy, there's a guy Bluegill, he's very good at those amps. I don't mess with them. They kill you. They'll kill you quick. I get shocked all the time on these Z boxes. People don't understand. My one friend's a doctor. He don't understand I'm still alive. My helper's amp came in here, went across, and came out here on his chassis because I failed to discharge it properly. I'm human. I forget. However, he's human and quick. He kept me from hitting the floor, set me down. We talked about it, and we came up with a procedure that we're going to start doing on every amplifier. This is barstool engineering at its best. That's the way to put it. You know, but I'm one of the few guys that'll put his name on it. I'm one of the few guys that'll shake your hand and tell you if it don't work, bring it back. I'm rarely going to find a reason that it's your fault, unless it's pretty obvious. There's a guy up here that plays with pill amps and stuff, and he always says, and he's right, when you bring a piece of busted equipment to a guy like me or him, as soon as we open the lid, that thing's going to tell on you. That unit's going to tell me what you did to break it, or it's going to tell me why it failed on its own on its own, because we did something that perhaps wasn't engineered properly. Okay, everything in this shop is an experiment for the most part. When you guys get the average stuff is all you guys don't see all just the blow by stuff that goes through. Just the stuff we're doing for our friends and stuff we do just to kind of stay. Sometimes I got to build something for a radio that I've never built one. That's something else. Can your technician say, just give me something, I'll build it for you? Or do they just fix what somebody else has done? I'm not going to get rich doing this, guys. I'm not here to get rich. Okay? Anybody who thinks they can come into this and get rich, they're nuts. But back to my helper. So I'm telling him I wanted a young guy. And that still stands. I can find a young guy in the Chicagoland area. He's willing to come down here. Give me his time. I don't care if it's the weekends, whatever. When I can't do this no more, somebody's going to get a free business. Equipment. Only condition is they don't get to change the name. But they get a career if they want it. Make it as big as you want. You don't like this, you can jump off into broadcast. I used to work in broadcast. I made a mistake. Can't do it no more. It's another story. But I've been blessed with having a lot of very smart people in my path. And I know a thing or two. You guys don't see everything that goes on here. You see the few things that, hey, this is cool. So, you know what? We're grateful for everybody who calls. We're grateful for everybody who waits. That is a big point of contention in this shop. Technically, I'm retired. Technically, this all belongs to my wife. She helps me with all this. She's the only reason I'm still here. Because I'd have done imploded. I'm used to truck stop shops. I've never had an option of what I wanted to do. What we're doing now is all custom work gets done at this location. Okay? But we do have a satellite shop that we're setting up down in Quincy. It's one of my ex-partners. His name's Brian Dunker. He's a very good radio technician. Been out of it for a while, a little rusty. I'm going to go down there and lube him up, get him going. No, not lube him, get his brain going again, guys. Stop it. We're going to get him down here, we're going to brush him up, get him up to speed. And then a lot of repairs, routine repairs. If you want to send them to us, Brian will be the one handling those. As far as what goes on in this shop, it's total custom. Conversions, a Super Duty conversion for your 2000s or whatever. Our DX conversions for the Galaxies. Our total custom builds for the DAC or any other box you want to put it in. Here's the thing. Back to I jump subjects a lot in case you guys haven't noticed. I'm a hyper cat. I am. It's crazy to sit around me. My helper will tell you. He wants to put a screwdriver in my ear 2 or 3 times a day. But with what's going on, there's going to come a time you can't go on the internet and just order what you want anymore. And if you think I'm wrong, go to the internet right now and try to look up any average radio, an 86V, 99V, whatever. The guys that do have them have damn near doubled their price. And nobody else has got them. With all the stuff going on in the world and us farming out everything that we use to the Chinese, well, some redundancy should have been done there. When they were going to farm out our stuff, they should have kept the plant here. Now the government right now is scrambling around to build a freaking factory to build our own chips for the cars or whatever they're doing. I don't care. I don't watch. Well, here, if you're going to let somebody else do your labor for 3 grains of rice a day, you better make sure that you still got a factory over here. Because when they get pissed off and want 6 grains of rice, you ain't going to get your product no more. That's when you turn the lights on at home, you put it in the paper or however they do it today, you fill the joint with qualified people, and you start making your stuff on your own soil again. I cannot legitimately write. When I was a kid, it used to hit me all the time. You'd see these stickers say, Made in America. Everybody thought that was a statement, and it wasn't. It was a warning. Believe that. Everything you own, that microwave, that phone, I'm relying on cell phone too. Everything on my bench, China. You guys don't understand. I apologize. I gotta get a new mount for this camera. You guys don't understand that everything we do is contingent upon somebody else's attitude on another piece of land somewhere. Our government's not very bright sometimes, but that's my opinion. I'm gonna stay out of that too. There's gonna come a time when you can't go and get just a brand new radio. And there's going to be guys like me that have hoarded all this old shit. and you're going to want something specific, they ain't going to sell it no more, or you're not going to want to pay the price. Or if you're going to pay that price, even if you don't come to me, hey, if you can find somebody like me that'll do for you what I do, or what they do is more, if what they do is more appropriate for you, we take them down to nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. You go to the website and look. Look at the first deck. You'll see a very defining moment in our shop on that video. Because my first partner, Jeff, we're sitting here, we're building the amp, or the radio, and we were going to put a pill amp in it, just for fun. And I'm standing there, we're in the middle of filming one of the stages of the build, and I said, no, we're going to put a tube in here. My dumb ass said it on the video. We're going to put a tube in here. And we did. Now we put 2 tubes in. You can get a DAC 10 with if you can get the chassis. I just built one with an 86V chassis. And we keep them true to the DAC format. And that's why we started using tubes for the final. Okay? Solid state transceiver driving a tube type audio final. Okay? The 9 was an AM, the 10 was a sideband. That's pretty much the way we build them. Okay? However, you're talking more than 40 man hours, God knows how much money, and time, depending on how much stuff you want, or parts, depending on how much stuff you want in the box. You know, those radios now start at $1,200. That's if you send me the box. And those don't get put together straight up with tape and hot glue. We do use a little bit of it, but they don't. There's nothing in there that secures anything permanently with that kind of apparatus. So, all I'm saying, guys, is, you know, we do things different. We do things on the fly a lot, because I have no less than 10 or 12 more guys waiting for custom work. These guys have been waiting a year for some of their stuff. That bird cage we just sent home was an 8-month project. The DAC we did before that was a 12-month project. The DAC we're doing now is a 12-month project, and it's got a Collins that we're gutting and making it a bird cage to go with it. His buddy we built an amp for. You got to understand, all the stuff you're seeing, those are the stuff that I know you're seeing. Never mind all the routine stuff that comes through here. Whip me up a key and circuit, whip me up this, whip me up that. You come here for stuff you want. You don't come here for stuff you need. And if you're so bored that you got time to sit there and watch my videos, there's obviously something. Don't tell me you're watching it for the entertainment value because you think I'm stupid. If I was so damn stupid, I wouldn't have everything I've got. Ergo, this channel, the website, the eBay store, my own brand. Guys, if you've got somebody you like better, just go to them. Don't bust my balls unless you got a piece of my equipment and you know what you're talking about. Other than that, take the challenge, build your shit, and let's do it live on YouTube. Bring your wallet. And I'm going to get you equipment, your wallet, maybe your wife if you piss me off. How you like that? 7-3s, everybody. None but love. This has been my rant for 2022. And God bless y'all. Be safe. And like I always say, wash your damn hands. There's shit out there Ajax don't wash off no more. Take care.